I was just so much happier because I wasn't working to a schedule. Like, I didn't have to worry about people calling me, like, what are you doing? Are you working, sort of thing. Didn't have to commute to work at all, and it just made me happier. And then, like you said, there'd be times where I would like finish all my work, but you still had to keep working. Like, you just sat there, not really doing too much, and it just drains you, like, mentally. All the lads are brilliant. Like, everyone inside the group I would consider a friend. And we could message, we could speak, and I think that showed when we went out to Portugal. How everyone's on the same page. It's kind of ticked off the quitting job, making like 5k a month since working with you.
Jedd, how you doing, mate?
I'm very well, man. Yeah.
Not too bad. Not too bad. How has your first month since leaving your recruitment job been?
It's been good, mate. Yeah, really good. Obviously, pretty much the first week, obviously went off to Portugal with all the lads, which was really good. We've already spoken about that. Kind of give you that sort of taste of working abroad and that sort of remote freedom that ultimately I'm looking for, and hence why we sort of signed up and got started working together. And then commission wise, pretty good solid month. First month did about 5k commission in USD, so just over 4k in pounds, which is pretty much basically like double my salary I was getting in my corporate job on a monthly basis. So it's definitely been a good first month for sure.
Unreal. I'm sorry for smiling. We just don't have we don't have super serious conversations very often.
Nah, we don't do that.
Yeah, but no, that's good, bro. Yeah, and obviously the money is one thing. Doubling the salary is pretty fucking insane. But I remember when we first spoke back in March, when we first started working together, like one of the main things for you, because look, at the end of the day, you were making decent money, in your recruitment job, which, it wasn't bad. It could be a lot worse. But the main thing for you is you said, I just have no passion for it. I'm not happy with it. So what's the month been like other than money and actually lifestyle wise? And
yeah, I see. I mean, it's a good question because the money was fine. I was earning good money. It was more than the job I was doing before. But like, all the money's fine, but if you're not actually enjoying it, like, it does take it out of you. And that was one of the big reasons why I wanted to start with high ticket sales, because to have that sort of freedom and that flexibility again. And since obviously I left September, like I said, went to Portugal, so obviously didn't need to worry about booking time off with holiday, like, if like flights were delayed, anything like that, it didn't matter, and I could work out there. And then since coming back, like, obviously I'm working off of this like US hours, so my schedule's pretty good. Like, in the morning I go to the gym, like, do everything I need to do, go to shops, whatever, have some lunch, breakfast, and then I'm taking calls. So it's just been like a relief of, like, I still get up at like a decent time, but being able to do the things I need to do in the morning in my lifestyle that ultimately makes me happy, like gym, can go see like my nan more, and just overall like made me happy. I think I remember telling you like quite early on, like I think like 2 weeks after I quit, just how, like, I hadn't made that as much money then. I don't think I'd only on like a couple hundred, but I was just so much happier because I wasn't working to a schedule. Like, I didn't have to worry about people calling me, like, what are you doing? Are you working, sort of thing. Didn't have to commute to work at all, and it just made me happier. And then, like you said, then the money starts coming in and you're kind of living that, what you're looking for. You're happier in yourself, you're enjoying what you're doing. And then the money's coming in, which is, double what I was earning before. Like, and like you said, it is only going to keep going up because, it's not capped like most sales jobs. Like, I could literally, this month make 10k in commission. Like, it's there, it's possible, right? So it is just, it's got all that freedom and flexibility, which is kind of hard to like believe when you kind of start, right? You think, oh, is that actually possible? But when you do achieve it, like, you realize it is possible and how actually happy and freeing it is.
Definitely. It's pretty mad. Like, it's weird. I can't believe it's November. Like, 10th of November. It's gone crazy. I mean, so fast since we started working together back in March. And what was it about? Let's just go back to the start. Like, why did you even reach out to me in the first place? Like, what was it about what you were doing and the way you felt in your life at that point that made you go, you know what, like this, I want to make a change?
Yeah. So obviously I was working my like corporate sales job. I was trying to dabble, well, I was kind of dabbling myself in the high ticket sales space, but wasn't really getting anywhere in like it kind of just made even the 9 to 5 worse, right? I was working in the evenings but didn't have much direction or guidance with it. So obviously reached out to you because you needed that extra help, that expert sort of guide. And I guess you kind of say, the straw that broke the camel's back, was just, these long days and, you're working for someone else's time, right? There'd be times where I would like finish all my work, but you still had to keep working. Like you just sat there, not really doing too much. And it just drains you like mentally. And then I'd have to come home and take calls or whatever. And it was tough. And obviously like now, like say, I do my calls, say I got a little bit of a gap, I can do whatever. I can like review my own calls, I can go gym, I can just, go watch, I can do whatever I want basically. I'm not fixed to sitting there and like having to be attentive, right? I think the biggest thing for me was, that lack of freedom back then in March and all through the summer, limited days, time off, like fixed schedules, and just working on somebody else's time, which like just isn't me at all.
And a lot, like obviously loads of people, you're 26, you just turned 26, right?
26 now, yeah.
Yeah. Well, 25 when you started, but most people work at 25, they're working similar jobs, they're working corporate jobs.
Mm.
There's nothing wrong with it. And I don't want to say there is anything wrong with it, but for some people it isn't. But for you, you're making decent money, as we spoke about, you're doing okay. People are probably looking from the outside in going, yeah, Jedd's got a good job, respectable job, making decent money. But why wasn't, like, what then made you then want to actually like take that lead when you had something good already, but you still decided to take the jump either way?
Absolutely, yeah. And it's a good question because, like you said, I was pretty comfortable. Like I was making decent money, but for me, like it's like one of these things I saw, like how far does things have to get bad before you actually make the change, right? If you stay comfortable, you're like, yeah, it's okay. Like, yeah, it's a bit long hours, it's a little bit shit, but you know what, decent money. Like you just stay in that phase and you just kick by, and before you know it, the years and years go on, right? And I would talk about 25, 26 being old, which it isn't, right? You still have time to do things. And for me, like realizing that like I wanted more and that I shouldn't settle for where I am in that situation. Yeah, the money was okay, but it wasn't enough for me. Like I wanted more. I wanted to earn more, have more of that freedom, like travel the world, because with fixed days holiday, right, you can only go a certain amount of time, unless you obviously can take longer with certain places. But a lot of people wait to save up and then go on these big trips, right? So spend all their savings, or they'll wait till they retire and then do it. But then you're too old to do things. Like I want to live that life where you're young enough to be able to do it. You can make money while online. And I think for me, it was just, and I'd say to anyone, like just don't settle with where you are unless you're on like a path where, like you said, 9 to 5s in corporate life is for people, and people do make money doing that, right? But there is restrictions with that. Whereas with like high ticket sales, you do get that freedom financially and, in your day-to-day life. And it's just people settle too much. They just get too comfortable. And then they expect things to change or get better by not taking any action. And that's the biggest thing. Nothing will change. Like not magically overnight is your boss going to become more lenient, give you more holidays, increase your pay by 5 times, right? You need to take action in order to change that situation. And obviously the first step is the scariest, right? But like I said before, you can literally do it alongside your 9 to 5 job. And then when you're at a point that you are making money and you're comfortable to leave, you can. So it's an easy transition. And yeah, it's going to be like a little bit more work, but if it was easy, everyone would do it, right? So if you want it bad enough, then you can put in the time and effort and achieve what you want to do.
100%, it's true. And I think what you're saying there, the whole idea of it has to be so bad for you to make a change, is what me and my old mentor would speak about, and he calls it the middle class unhappiness trap. Is that most people live in between a 5 to 6, maybe 7 out of 10 on a happiness scale. 10 being I'm super happy, 1 being I want to fucking kill myself. Right, most people sit on the like 5 to 7 sort of range. Yeah, maybe 7 highest, but because it's not the 2 or 3, there's no, people don't make the change. They're just in this sort of limbo. So it's not bad
100%.
enough to take action, but it's also not good enough to where they're happy. So they sit in this middle ground, and I feel like a lot of people sit there most people sit there in corporate jobs. I feel like that's probably where you were as well.
Absolutely, yeah. And like honestly, like the amount of people, like my friends, family, it's exactly the same. They're in that limbo where, yeah, it's not bad enough that I want to like hand my notice in tomorrow and get me out of here and I'll just not earn any money because it is that bad. But they're also not so happy that when they finish a day or the weekend comes, they're like happy. You ask them, how's work? Oh, like shit. Okay, like do something that like it's all right. Like, because yeah, I get, you've got bills to pay or things like that. But the point is you don't have to leave to do high ticket sales. You can learn everything on the side. And when you're comfortable, you can take that leap. Because if you just keep settling for that, before you know it, you're going to be 40, you're going to be unhappy and feel like you've not achieved anything, right? In time, you can never get time back. So the only way to change it is to take that leap.
Definitely, 100%. And how have you found the whole journey of like transitioning in, like since the start all the way to quitting the job? Now, obviously, doubling the salary, record month, doing some more travel, big things ahead. Like, how have you found the whole journey of high ticket sales in general?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely obviously like quite well. It wasn't new to me because also I dabbled a bit and I've come from sales, but it is, you learn a lot like really quickly as well, especially with like all of your training. I think you need to have like a mentor in this space. Like I tried to do it myself before we kind of started working together, and yeah, like had no real guidance, didn't really know what I was doing. I was trying to utilize skills that just weren't fit for the industry or the kind of space. And having a mentor like yourself, someone who's not only invested in you've invested in yourself into mentors like tens of thousands of pounds, right? But you've put in the hours, you've like done the work, and now you've condensed it all into like a program yourself so that you can teach others. In just having that someone who's been through everything. Like anytime I had any issues, like Ben, like what do I do here? Okay, like you tell me. Whereas before I was trying to navigate by myself, or if I asked someone who'd never been in high ticket sales before, like my mum, like, oh, what do I do here? She's not going to know, right? So why would I ask her? So having someone who's been through all like step by step just really helped, like with how you've got everything structured, and then ultimately like all the way to the end, like landing the role, which ultimately is kind of like the hardest part, right? That last final hurdle, and then obviously making money, and obviously with how you've got things set up with like having the recruiter in the group who just posts like all the roles for the lads definitely helped. Like I landed a good few roles from that. And again, like nothing. I still had to put the work in, right? Like you've got the vehicle for us to make the money and be successful, and it is like the perfect vehicle I found for me. You've got everything set up, and I think as well, like all the lads are brilliant. I know you don't work with everyone, right? You want to make sure that they're going to be a right fit, and I think that really helps because like everyone inside the group I would consider a friend. Like we can message, we can speak, and I think that showed when we went out to Portugal, and obviously we're doing a meetup in for Christmas as well. Everyone just gets on so well, everyone's on the same page, and it just helps. Like you're around lads that don't judge you if like you do a role play and you're shit, or you ask a stupid question, right? You may have a laugh, but it's that good like community that we've got, which ultimately just makes you feel included and want to keep driving and be successful.
100%. Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. That's the thing I'm most proud of. Obviously, the results are insane. I love helping people. There's nothing more rewarding for me than watching you go on that journey and then quit the job, make the money.
Yeah.
Now we're going to Argentina together in January.
Yeah.
To have seen your whole journey, like, honestly, mate, there's nothing more fulfilling than that. And to see it with all the other lads, Rory, Yusuf, George, everyone. There's nothing better. There's nothing better than working towards something and then finally making it happen, and then the penny kind of drops. So that's good. But yeah, the trips are great. Portugal was just fucking so fun.
Yeah.
Got the Christmas dinner. We've got Madrid in the works for next March as well. Half marathon weekend there, which should be hilarious. Not sure if you'll be doing the half marathon.
We'll see, mate. I do need to do some training for it.
Yeah, but even so, just yeah, mate, we're all gonna get on the day. But even so, all the lads, even like obviously we're all working towards the same thing. But it's not just the money; it's improvement, it's community. We're going to be running this marathon. We're going to be raising money for a charity. Like, I think that whole culture side of things is so important. And I feel like, I had good mentors when I got into this space, but the one thing I lacked was like a community and like a real culture. And I feel like that's one of the big things that I've really tried to push on with with BP closers and what,
Absolutely.
you know, how it's being built this year.
Yeah, because I think that's one thing, right? You know, getting all the mentorship and everything, but ultimately, if you don't feel like part of a community or anyone else in the space, like this space is massively about who you know as well, right? If you don't have that community aspect, like, and you're scared to ask a question because you don't know the people, you feel like you feel judged, like you're not, it's gonna like delay your progress. And I can tell, like, well, also I know that you kind of lack that, and I know that's why you've kind of built BP Closers to how it is. You know, having that community where people feel welcome, everyone gets along, everyone's got that same goal of wanting to make it high ticket sales, whether that's because they want to, you know, retire their parents, get them more financial freedom, or just travel, or whatever it is. We've all got the same goal in mind, and we're all just working together and having a laugh while doing so.
Exactly, and that's the slogan on the school is stacking
Yeah,
cash and having a laugh while doing so. And I think
it
that's a
is. Yeah, I
that's
remember.
really what we stand for, which is
Definitely.
cool. And the good thing is that because I project that message so much, and you know, even when people watch interviews like this, they see what I'm about, they see what you're about, and I attract the person I am. I've
Mm,
attracted people like yourself to join this community, and everyone's similar because they all believe in the values that I hold. And
mm,
that's something that I've never really thought about until the other day, until I realized, oh, everyone's got the same goals because everyone believes in the vision of what I promote and make
mhm.
content about.
100%. Yeah, I think it's yeah, it's only obviously going to grow, and I think, you know, the biggest thing that obviously I wish was, well, maybe not so much me, but like other people. It is scary that first leap, right? But nothing happens without change, and there's no good time to start. There's never going to be a perfect time to start anything in life, right? It always does come. It's sometimes
Ever.
uncomfortable, and then you make it work, right? Okay, it's not right. I'm going to do it. Oh, I'm working long hours, but you make it work. Do an hour a day. Do half an hour. Do it on your lunch break. Like whatever you need to do to make it work, and just take that leap is the best advice I could ever give.
100%. And I think that people who take the leap realize that, but the only way you're going to
Yeah,
know is when you're on the other side of it. And like I speak
100%.
with the boys all the time, and they're like, "Fuck, I'm so glad that I took that step. I gave it a go. I gave it a crack." Because the
Mhm.
only way you'll know is by getting on the other side of it and just jumping in the fucking deep end and giving it a crack.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like with everything in life, you're never going to know unless you do it. And obviously, don't get me wrong, there's moments of doubt where, like, oh, you're working hard and everything, like, but it's natural, right? And it's just like anything, you just stick at it long enough. Like Z the other day, like, he's been like working hard, made like what, like 750 quid for like
yeah,
little to no work.
yeah.
And then once you get that first bit of cash online, like, the feeling's unreal. I never forget the first one.
It is. It's so good. I remember it
Yeah.
so clearly.
Yeah.
There's nothing
So,
like it. Nothing like it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, the community is obviously big thing, growing well. And what's
mm,
the I mean, obviously this month's been fucking good for yourself, but what's the goals now? What are your plans
mm.
moving forward?
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, got to like reevaluate the goals, kind of ticked off the quitting job, you know, making like 5K a month. They're all boom ticked since working with you. And I think obviously next one, like the big one is like 10K commission in a month. Like we got pretty close before, like done like 7, 8K months, but I think 10K is just everyone goes for it, right? That sort of 5 figure amount. So that's the goal. And then I guess more on like a personal level. So I want to travel more. I know we're going away quite a bit, especially next year. We've got some good things planned. So definitely travel, see the world. But yeah, most of the things I do, like I ultimately want to, you know, pay back my mum, like retire my mum, in any way I can, help her out. Which is just like this is what it allows me to do because I can make more money, can help her out. That's kind of my goals, and then yeah, we'll kind of see where things go.
Mm. Yeah, bro. No, it's cool. It's good to see. Again, like it's knowing that I work with the right people. The fact that
Mm,
money is one thing, but it's also what it brings. And I think that that's such an
100%.
important thing because, as I've told you before, I've met people, a lot of people over the past 3 years I've been in this game. Yeah, they may make good money, but boy, they fucking unbearable people to be around.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
there are a lot of people in this space who don't hold those same values and they
Mm,
lie about how much money they make. They don't really care about the people they work with. They don't care about their clients. And I think it's
uh,
hard to find that kind of community side of things and
definitely.
people who have the same and hold those same values.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it is part of it. Like, I like seeing the lads do well, like everyone do well, and like that is more worth than money. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes, like I was saying to you about the freedom I have, that is almost worth more to me than the money, because I'm just happier in myself. And I know from your point of view, like you get fulfillment from seeing all the boys succeed. Like we kind of said, me quitting my job, like see like Yusuf, Roy, all the other lads succeeding. That's your fulfillment. And a lot of coaches out there, like, don't necessarily care about that. They would take your money, even if it wasn't the right program for you, if they didn't feel like it was what they wanted genuinely. And I know, like firsthand, that I know you've turned people away because it isn't, you just don't want their money. It's more you want people to succeed and do well. And if you're not the best person to help them, then I know that you'll let them know.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. It's something that it's really, really important to me. And it's good to see that it like kind of reflects on you boys as well inside the community also.
Absolutely.
And I know we kind of touched on it, but for someone who is thinking, maybe they're working a job like yourself, feeling the same way, feeling like they're, because it's not just you, all the boys felt it. They felt like they could do more. They felt like they had potential to achieve big things. They're not lazy. None of the people inside are lazy. They just didn't know what to do. They didn't know what vehicle to take to get to that next level. What would your advice be to that person and to your old self?
I think my advice to people is, kind of what we touched on about like that between 4 and 6 out of 10, right? Are you just in a point where you feel, it's not bad enough that you want to quit immediately, but you're not super happy? You're just in that limbo. And if you're kind of at that stage, or even, worse or whatever, like just don't settle for where you are. If you think that you can work more, you're interested in escaping that 9 to 5, then just explore ways to do it. Like nothing's going to change overnight, or nothing's going to change without you making a change, right? So, and the biggest thing for me is just by taking action. It isn't going to change. So, have a chat with Ben, see if it aligns with what you're looking for, vice versa, and just stick at it. Really, like I said, consistency is key with this. Nothing, you can't expect results immediately. Like you do need to commit. And as long as you want it bad enough that you want the change, you want that financial freedom, location freedom, whatever that looks like to you, then you stay consistent, then there's absolutely no reason why you won't succeed in this.
100%. Like there's so much potential with it. Like, it's ridiculous. It's crazy. Seeing how far you've come in such a short period of time. People are so impatient nowadays. They want things like this straight away.
Yeah,
that's not how it works. Anything worthwhile having takes effort. There's no such thing as a get rich quick scheme. It doesn't matter what people tell you online. I would never tell anyone that this is easy, because it's not. Because anything worthwhile takes effort. But it's like, are you willing to put in that effort to then get an outsized return of being able to live the life that you want, traveling, making good money, being part of a cool group of people? Like, it's just, you just have to balance that. That's the question people have to ask themselves.
Absolutely. And it does get, it's not, obviously it's more time. Like for me, it was more time when I was balancing to like doing the high ticket sales on the side and the main job. That was when it was difficult, right? When you're in the trenches, you're learning, it's all new, like you're not obviously making like money yet or much money, and you're kind of like, fuck, like this is tough, right? But now I can come out the other side, right, where I take up to 8 calls a day, sometimes less, like make good money. Like I made like just over $1,000 last week, and I like took, I think, 12 calls, right? So it was 12 hours of work.
That's so
and I made just over $1,000, right? And then in the meantime, I'm going to the gym and everything like that. And don't get me wrong, like that is possible. And I know obviously, I can do more, and people do more inside the community, but that isn't without going through a lot of like pain, you could almost say, like hard work, determination, which makes it ultimately sweeter when you do achieve it. And like you said, it's never going to be easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it. So as long as you stay consistent, you can achieve it.
100%. Yeah, I agree. That is so true though. If you get something like that, you never say, oh yeah, I'm so glad I got it. It's the grit and the grind that makes it all worthwhile at the end. Absolutely. That's the main thing.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, mate. Well, look, I appreciate you jumping on. It's good to chat as always. Looking forward to Christmas, the Christmas event. I was about to say Christmas do, probably a mix of a do and an event. Argentina in Jan, Madrid in March, mate. It's gonna be unreal. And yeah,
Definitely.
fucking proud of you, mate. You've
Thank you,
done
brother.
so well, and yeah, I'm so excited to see where you're gonna end up over the next 6 months.
Absolutely, man. Couldn't have done it without you.
Oh. All right, bro. I'll speak to you
Nice
soon.
one. Cheers, bro.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Bye bye.